see Corey has some burgundy on. That's interesting.
Oh. Just a coincidence. So.
All right, fair enough.
So yes. Oh, I got to shout out to my mother-in-law. She bought me some Commanders gear. I have to wear it. So, I gotta wear it.
You don't like it.
I have to wear it, but I don't have. It's cool. That's my team.
Miss Allen doesn't like you, I guess, right? You gotta respect you, I guess.
Whatever, man. Mr. Allen, they gave us some. Got some Commanders gift for my birthday. Shout out to her, man. She's always looking out. She got some rolls too, Craig. Got some rolls, man. It's good. Melt in your mouth. Anyway. Craig knows what I'm talking about, guys.
Out of the bread maker? Was it from the bread maker or from some?
I think it's from the bread maker.
Yeah, man.
All right, guys. All right, guys. So this has been a interesting couple days.
Man.
I was going to start out with the NBA, but I think we have to start off.
Yeah, got to.
Very impactful decision. We're going to start off with Aaron Rodgers first. Now, a couple of us said Aaron Rodgers is going to stay in Green Bay, right? That's fair. There's nobody knows what the contract is yet, but we know because see what Corey said. Aaron Rodgers said he didn't sign it, but once again, he's the highest paid player in football, highest paid player in quarterback. Here's the thing: what do y'all thought? Do you think he did all this for money, or do you think it was other things involved, or why Aaron Rodgers is staying in Green Bay?
I mean, the money definitely helps. I think if by all of this you mean everything. Him being an idiot and showing how much of a diva he is this past year, it's about control. He didn't have as much influence in the organization as he wanted. I do agree with him. Like the whole drafting of Jordan Love thing was just completely botched from start to finish by the organization. But yeah, it's beyond that. He wanted more control. I think the team feels like they have to have him, so they have no leverage on the contract stuff. I wouldn't doubt that he demanded to be the highest paid by a lot, because that's exactly what he's getting. I don't think that those things are coincidental. And it was at least my understanding from what I'd read that the Packers were going to need him to sign an extension to adjust his cap number so they could afford to place the franchise tag on Davante Adams. So like he may not have officially signed the contract when he sent the tweet, but then he could have likely signed the contract like 30 seconds later. So I don't get the whole show and him trying to deflect stuff and make it not seem like it is, but I'm just happy it's over. We don't have to talk about him again for the rest of the offseason, and that excites me.
Anybody else? Any thoughts on Ron?
I think as a whole, I think he looked at it the whole situation. Of course, the money got to be the number one factor. But I honestly, of course, they're not going to say this out loud, but it's no way this. I think it was the same day as he reportedly signed the contract. They said they franchise tag Davante Adams. Come on, man. Like, I think he sat down with them. He said, these are my terms. This is what needs to happen. And they said, okay, cool. We're going to franchise tag this. We're going to do this. And we're going to keep it moving. So, and to be honest with you, I'm gonna take it a step further. I wouldn't be surprised if their first round pick is a wide receiver and he pipped that deal. Like, hey, y'all need to guarantee me y'all gonna get me some help in here and get another person in here. Because I've been looking at certain mock drafts and they talk about the receiver from Penn State possibly getting drafted by Green Bay. So I think it was a whole sit-down conversation. He said, these are my demands, this is what I want, and I think they're gonna go from here. Because I just think it's lining up too coincidental for some stuff not to be talked about. So I think it was a number of things. And I mean, we always said it. The NFC is wide open, but it's not strong enough to where Green Bay is going to get pushed out of the playoffs. The NFC is not that strong to where we can see Green Bay not getting pushed out of playoffs. They're going to win that division. That division is terrible. that division's in shambles. What, 3 new coaches? I mean, what, 2 new coaches and 1 coach is going into his second year? Not a lot of talent in that division outside of Minnesota, with some talent on the offensive side of the ball. Like, so he saw wide open.
What do you think, Craig? That's your man.
I really, honestly, I don't care. Just being honest, like I'm just tired of Aaron Rodgers. Like I've been over this Aaron Rodgers saga for months now. I'm worn out. Anytime somebody talks about it on TV or whatever it is, I gotta mute it or turn the channel. I just can't deal with it anymore. So I've been out of it for a while. I thought his best chance was to stay in Green Bay, but I thought maybe he would go to Denver or something, because his offensive head coach, offensive coordinator went there, or maybe he wanted to challenge himself by going to the AFC or whatever it is. There's better quarterbacks out there, better teams overall. So, but I mean, at the end, I just figured he was going to stay there because it's an easier path, and he's having trouble with the easier path. So why would you think he wouldn't have trouble with a harder path? But I'm just tired of it, man. It's just it's over it, man. I really am. It started last year on draft day when he made that whole thing not up, but he came out and said what he said, and then it's been lingering on for almost a year now.
Yep.
And I'm over it, man. So I'm just happy that he finally signed. I'm pretty sure they're still going to find a way to talk about it on TV, because they have to ask certain people the same questions who weren't on the show Monday that are now on the show Thursday, the same question. And he's like, I can't do it anymore. So like I said, I'm just happy it's over. I'm glad for Aaron Rodgers that he got his money. I don't think it was I think he's worth it, but at the same time, I don't know if it's really necessary for him to do that at this point. Especially if you're trying to build a team that's I guess like their cap space is very bad at this point. So you gotta, I guess, trying to pick and choose. But I kind of want to see what they're gonna do with Jordan Love. If they're gonna, I don't think they're gonna trade him, but if they do trade him, he's a piece that you don't have a lot of film on or anything like that, just a one game. But I think he could be a very valuable, maybe worth a 3rd pick or something like that for a team that want to take a chance on him. And possibly have a quarterback competition or something like that. But I'm just glad this is over.
Man, yeah. I don't think it's ever going to be over until he retires. That's just me. So I think that shout out again to my wonderful mother-in-law here. I know she's gonna watch it. So here's the thing with Aaron Rodgers. He is a little maniacal, okay? And listen, he's okay. That's who he is. Nothing wrong with that. But I think it's a culmination of everything. It's the money. It's the Jordan Love pick. You pick Jordan Love, I'm gonna make you guys pay and grovel at my feet. I think that's what he did. And it's okay. Right? Grovel at my feet, and I want to be the highest paid, and I want you to bring, I think they brought back his quarterback coach, his old quarterback coach, Randall Cobb, and they're going to sign Devontae. This tweet, he said that he didn't sign a contract, probably didn't, but he's going to get paid 4 years, $200 million contract. I think like 150 or something crazy like that. And then they'll be probably signed Devontae long term. I think they got I think the NFL gave 25. The cap rate is 25 million and some change, I think. So I think I think he did it on purpose, in layman's terms, he whipped it out. You know what I'm talking about, man.
Okay.
Between Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay, it was a dick measuring contest. Aaron won. Like they were like, they basically didn't treat Aaron like a stepchild, but they were like, Aaron got mad. They drafted a QB, and he made a big fuss about it. And they were like, okay, here. It's like, whatever. Like, he'll be all right. So that's a good thing. I don't know if they're going to trade Jordan Love. I mean, he says he has no problem with him. I don't think it was between. I can see Aaron Rodgers not having a problem with him, but having a problem with the organization drafting him. Right, that's why he got mad. I don't see him having a problem with him. And now that he signed his contract, I don't even think he minds him being there. I think me and Mo were having this conversation last night. This Jordan Love's third year, right?
Yep. Third. He going into his third year.
Going into his third.
Yeah, he going into his third.
They would have 2 years. I mean, they would kind of have to, I think. Right? I think they should. Or Jordan Love might just want to, you don't know. He might want to be a backup. We don't know. I don't know. But they haven't had any indications that they're going to trade him. So,
maybe honestly, where does he go and be a starter right now? So maybe he might look at the market and look at it and be like, maybe my best bet is sit behind this guy for some years, grow, and then it be my time, and maybe that might be the best thing for him.
Yeah.
I can't see nowhere right now. I mean, anywhere he go right now and start, it'd be a project. It'd be like a start over. It'd be almost like a rookie year type situation, just throwing the kid out to the fire. I don't even know. Just the early looks at him. Even the one time I saw him in the San Francisco game he played in last year. He looked decent, but I really wasn't impressed to say trade him and he can start somewhere right now. I really wasn't like highly impressed. Even though he was missing a lot of wideouts, I give him that. I think they had some injuries. I think Devontae Adams was out. I think somebody else had COVID. He didn't really have the full weapons.
And he didn't practice for that.
Yeah, that whole week. Yeah, he didn't know until like Thursday that Aaron Rodgers wasn't going to play. So
we don't know how. So I don't know. That's an interesting thing. I mean, it's up to Green Bay at this point. I don't think he's going to be like, I can request a trade. I think he's just, learning his money.
If you're Love, like if Rodgers is getting an extension and then they're not just completely redoing his deal, Rodgers would be under contract for 5 more years in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
That's beyond his rookie contract. If they were to pick up his 5th-year option, which at this point, how could you?
Right.
So, yeah, if you're Jordan Love, you would definitely express interest for his part to get out of town because you've sat behind, you've learned from Rodgers for 2 years. Is sitting a third really going to, teach you anything you didn't learn those first 2? Or is he going to hit to a point in his development cycle where he has to get reps? That's the only way he's going to improve.
So I think the only thing they could do, the only pimp move that Green Bay could do is because I can't see Aaron Rodgers playing too much in the preseason. So the only pimp move they could do is let Jordan Love play the whole entire preseason and try to trade him, or play him the whole entire preseason, trade him next season just to give him more game reps to show him out, to show him off. Because at this point, if you go off just what he's done so far, what are you really going to get for him? Yeah. Like, what really is the value right now?
Oh, there is minimal value right now. Maybe a 4.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, maybe. You're right. Maybe they march him out there next year preseason. Maybe he has a year audition. Maybe. Yeah. But anyway, the other big news. Russell Wilson to Denver for, let me make sure I get this right. It was for, hold on, I got to bring it up because I don't want to be wrong. Okay. Broncos receive Russell Wilson in the 4th pick. Seahawks get Drew Lock, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, the D tackle guys, pretty good. 2 first-round picks, including this year. 2 second-round picks and a 5th-round pick. Did anybody see this coming?
Not for that little, no.
Oh.
That is... I mean, they gave up... like, Drew Lock, I don't even know if he would have been on Denver's roster opening day next year.
No.
So that part of the trade does not matter. So they gave up the number 9 pick this year.
Yep.
A first rounder next year that is going to be 27, 28 or later.
Yep.
2 second rounders.
Yep.
A starting defensive tackle who's a solid all-around football player, but I don't know if he's necessarily a perennial Pro Bowler. Definitely not an all-pro level guy. And a starting tight end who's, again, he's a promising young tight end. Not Not sure he's a perennial Pro Bowler, not an all-pro level guy. So they gave up essentially 2 2s, 2 1s, and a couple of starters at non-premium positions, kept all of their top-tier young talent for a top 10 quarterback in the league.
So you're saying that what the hell is Seahawks doing, essentially?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, maybe it was a situation where they didn't have any other options because Wilson did have the no trade clause, so they couldn't send him just anywhere.
They could not.
Reportedly, he wanted to stay on the West Coast.
Yep.
I'm guessing that probably would have something to do with his wife likely doing a lot of work in Los Angeles, so making that commute easier. And Seattle wanted to get him out of the NFC.
Yep.
So that kind of leaves you with one team. So,
I mean, it's crazy. Craig, what you looking around, Craig? What's up, man?
Oh man, it's another one I don't really care about. Look, honestly,
that was a big one though, Craig. Would you?
That's fine. I think.
Well, no, he wouldn't.
No. I don't. I mean, if he had went to Carolina, that'd have been cool. But I think that from what I've heard is that Washington offered him 3 1s, and they basically said no because they wanted to get him out of the NFC. So Washington had a better offer in terms of picks, and who knows what they would have had in terms of players, because I don't think they even got that far in the negotiations because they just cut him off from what I've heard. So I think they could have got a lot more for Russell Wilson. And I just think that they just, I guess, wanted the first offer from maybe a AFC team, and maybe Denver was that first team. So I don't know if Seattle is now in a rebuild. It seems like they are. But then I've heard maybe they're going to package what they took from Denver to try to go after Deshaun, which is, I mean, if they got picks from Denver, so they could obviously now they have more ammo to have, but they're releasing Bobby Wagner. So I just don't know what their plan is at this point. So, and they got a 70-year-old coach, so he doesn't seem like he would be there for a rebuild. 71-year-old coach. It doesn't seem like he'd be there for a rebuild for a team that has playoff aspirations that I thought I picked them to go to the playoffs last year. I thought they were going to make it, but I mean, they had injuries at the quarterback and the running back, and the offensive line has just been terrible. So I want to see what Seattle's plan is. I guess is what I'm trying to say, because it doesn't seem like they actually have one right now, but maybe they're just biding their time until they can try to figure out what they're going to do with Deshaun or some other, because Drew Lock is not. I mean, the stock of DJ Metcalf, the stock of DJ Metcalf and Tyler Lockett has dropped. It doesn't matter if they draft a quarterback or if they keep Drew Lock, unless they go out and get Deshaun Watson. I mean, I don't know. It seems like it's just going to be a rebuild, but I don't know why you would do it at this point.
Well, so there was also a report that Philly made an offer for Wilson, and Wilson would not waive his no trade clause to go to Philadelphia.
Yep.
3 number 1 picks.
Yeah.
One round.
Philly has 3 number 1 picks in this draft.
Picks in the first round.
And I think Jalen Hurts, they offered. I think Philly offered a lot.
I would have taken that deal. I'm sorry. And then maybe you could have traded the same 3 picks, Jalen Hurts, to Houston for Deshaun Watson.
Jalen Hurts is definitely better than Drew Lock. Just mine. Maybe not, but maybe.
That's why I don't think they're going to keep Drew Lock. I think this can't be a rebuild. I think they just got to do something and package him and send him to some other team or Houston or something like that, or a 3-team deal or something.
I don't know, Craig. Here's the thing, right? So with Houston, right? Okay, so we're gonna go there, but with Seattle, I don't know what they're doing. To me, it seems like they're gonna be in a hole for a while. Unfortunately, they are because of the division. They are because of the division. They're not. Let's not forget Pete Carroll is like Jay Gruden, and he got Russell Wilson. He's an average. He's not that good of an NFL coach.
I don't know.
Let's be honest here, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's hard to find a good quarterback like Russell Wilson, and unless they get Deshaun Watson, which if Philly's willing to throw 3 picks in, Deshaun might want to go. We don't know where Deshaun Watson is. No trade clause too, but his options are because his court case.
I've been hearing Pittsburgh really wants to go.
Right. The pool's getting smart. He might want to go to Pittsburgh. But all I'm saying is, see, this seems to me like Seattle kind of was like, all right, we're gonna trade, and then we're gonna go and obliterate it. I think they're gonna not be a good team for a long time because of this. And now if they get Deshaun Watson, okay, but I don't know. Does Deshaun go there? Because what I'm hearing, what I just heard from Greg Olson said that he got on Colin Cowherd's podcast, The Volume. He said this. Colin was like, "What's going on with the philosophies?" So Pete Carroll's older, didn't want the new offenses like the Joe Burrows, the Matthew Stafford, where you have running game, but the offense is more quarterback centric, right? There's still this old school philosophy, and that's not winning right now. It's not. So that's kind of the odds they had, and Russ wanted to be just to have a little bit more input. Thus, Denver's a good situation. Hackett is probably going to be open to him. They're probably going to converse a lot. There's probably going to be a lot of stuff that Russell Wilson likes. But listen, and then nobody takes in the fact that Paul Allen passed away. It's his sister running it. Does she know football? We don't know. She could be listening to Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll says, we're going to start over. They could draft Malik Willis, and we don't know how he turns out to be. Everybody's talking about he's probably a third-round pick. Right, he's going to get overdrafted. Everybody says Malik Willis needs time. That's what I've heard. His talent is good. He just needs time.
Well, I mean, from
but it just
Thomas
like
Shady's
Seattle. I think Seattle's. We're going to be talking about Seattle's one of the worst teams for a while.
But they have.
I mean, what? I mean, yeah, but the wild part is
they're going to be picking up.
What? I mean, but here's the wild part though. I was looking at top. They did a draft special. They do every month, once a month, twice a month. They do the draft specials now with Tom and Shay. I was just watching it. They was talking about Seattle want to sit there and build and going to get the DN from Oregon at 9. With that pick they just got from Denver, they're gonna get the DN from Oregon. Like, so I don't know if they're gonna try to trade for a veteran and then draft the best available player at 9, or what they're gonna do. But I guarantee you, if the rumblings are not happening right now, it will happen during the season or at the end of the season. Lockett and Metcalf gonna want out of there. They're not going to sit there and play multiple years under no Drew Lock or no rookie. So the rumblings are going to come. So this is about to be a total rebuild. This is about to be a total build from the ground up, and just go from there. So this is just a crazy thing. And I'm no disrespect, if I'm Seattle, unless you can go get one of these veterans, or even if you can get a veteran, this is so messy. What are you really going to do here? And I'm just talking about the division. Even in their division, let's not even talk about the whole NFC. Just their division, they're the bottom feeders right now.
It'll be bad. I'm telling you.
So if I was them, what I would do is I would run this season with Lock and then look at quarterback situation next year with a better class. I honestly would just let the chips fall where it may.
You talking about tanking?
No, I'm not. I don't want to use that word tank, but I would at least let the chips fall where it may and play Lock. I mean, it looks like tanking. It does look like tanking, but I don't want to say it like that.
You Lock for 17 NFL games.
That's when you start Sam Darnold for 17 games.
I would rather have Sam Darnold than Drew Lock.
Man, you're delusional.
You would rather have Drew Lock?
Did you see Sam Darnold last year?
Yeah, I think he.
No, you didn't see him.
I think you.
He said you ain't see him. He said you ain't see him.
We're gonna have a topic about Drew Lock.
You're stupid. He said, man, you ain't see him. Oh, yeah,
Lock is horrible. Anyway, they're gonna be in the top 5 pick if they go with him.
Seattle is sending mixed messages. Like, you don't trade away your franchise quarterback and say you want to be competitive. You don't cut the other staple of your franchise and Bobby Wagner, who can still play,
Yes.
and then say you want to go get a Deshaun Watson. Like, if you're going to go get Deshaun Watson and be competitive, you're not trading or you're not cutting Bobby Wagner for nothing.
Yes.
Hey, listen. And I was just talking to
that was just a rumor, man.
I was just talking to my brother Todd about that. We was talking about Bobby Wagner. I'm like, if I'm Bobby Wagner, listen, I've been an all-pro for the last 3, 4, 5 straight years. I'm going to a contender. I'm not going to leave one bad situation to go to another bad situation just for some money. And this time, I want to win.
Yeah, he can go where he wants. Bobby Wagner's no different.
Wagner's got his money. He can go win now.
He could go. Yeah. He could go to wherever he wants. If Bobby Wagner wants to go to the Rams, he can go. If Bobby Wagner wants to go, I mean, you know,
that's a scary. That's a scary thought, boy. If he go there, that's scary.
To me, first ballot Hall of Famer. He has a resume. I think at this point, if he wants to solidify it with a championship, he could pick. You know, but see, you're right. Seattle's just. I don't know what they're doing, man. I
trade Lockett, trade Metcalf. I would say try to trade Jamal Adams, but you're not getting anything close to the absurd amount of picks that you traded for him.
Just paid him too.
I think that's why they maybe took all those picks back, because they made that terrible trade for Adams or something.
Terrible.
They need some back.
It's got to be something.
Did they even?
That was a terrible.
They trade Russell.
A terrible trade anyway. Did
they even recoup what they sent to get Adams?
I don't think so. I think still some stuff out there.
Nah, they didn't. But
I mean, they got close. They got close enough, but nah.
I mean, give up their starting quarterback to almost gave up what they gave up for a safety.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that they're just saying we're going to go even, or try to get as even as possible from that terrible trade we made.
I don't know, man. That's.
I feel like Russell Wilson had to ask for the trade. Had to say he wasn't coming back.
He did. I think what I heard was there was a lot of tension with the scheme. I think that he wanted to be more part, and I don't think it was the offensive line, because Denver offensive line isn't phenomenal.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's all right, but I think it was literally like, hey, I see the league transforming into this. I got some ideas. And it's like, no, we're old school. We're going to play hard on defense. We're going to run the ball 35 times a game. And I think he's like, well, you know, we should do this. And I think it just came to a head. I didn't think he pulled it, you know, obviously not an Aaron Rodgers. But I think it was discussions. And I think that that was Denver's next option if they couldn't get Aaron Rodgers. What's up, Craig? Why are you shaking your head? You didn't think it went down? It's shocking, to me.
I mean, where do we put Denver in this? Where do we put Denver right now? And let's just talk about their division, though. In their division, let's not even go conference. Let's not even go whole big picture.
Second.
Where are they at in their division?
Second.
Second. I would say I wouldn't put them on Kansas City right now. Yeah.
I say second too, but like you have people like Nick Wright was like their third, and I was like,
and the Chargers?
But yeah, he believes the Chargers, but I'm like, I haven't seen anything from Justin Herbert yet.
I have.
I have.
I have, but overall the team is just so inconsistent.
Yeah. And the coaching, like, even though Nathaniel Hackett's new, I kind of trust Russell Wilson a little bit more. I mean, right now they're hurt.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. I mean, there's a whole lot of offseason. Denver has a brand new coaching staff. Hackett's a first-time head coach. Who knows if that'll work out? Yeah. A lot of question marks still. But
definitely.
I mean, you look at all the skill position talent with Russell Wilson and a defense that played really well last year that granted will potentially maybe take a little bit of a step back without Vic Fangio coaching them.
Yeah.
They still have a lot of talent there, and they could end up adding Von Miller again.
Yeah. Now we wonder why Von Miller tweeted, "Am I going back?" Did he know?
Yeah, he might.
He might have knew.
I mean, if I'm Russell Wilson, I would have sent the recruiting text.
Yeah. He said
like,
it right
look,
out. He said the Rams or the Denver.
Yeah.
That's literally what he said. And it seems like I think Russ has a couple more years on his contract. But it seems like he's not. They're probably gonna load the roster around him up.
Yeah.
And that's probably what he wants.
Yeah.
Because that AFC's loaded.
Yeah, loaded.
It's loaded. you got not only in your own division, you got Joe Burrow right now that's staked this claim. You have Lamar, you have Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you just have quality good teams. Patriots aren't world beaters, but they're good. Yeah. Pittsburgh aren't world beaters, but they're good. Depending on to get their quarterback, right? If they get Jimmy Garoppolo, they're going to be a playoff team. So they're a good team. It's just if Mayfield is healthy, we don't know. Cleveland might be decent.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna go. Hey, I'm gonna go record. Listen, I'm gonna go record saying this right now. No disrespect. Shout out to Mike Tomlin. I love you, but if Mason Rudolph is your starting quarterback, and they win any more than 6 games, Mike Tomlin should be coach of the year. Automatically stamp, no argument, no nothing. That he can't be your starting quarterback, especially if you're talking about going to playoffs. It's no way. It's no way you can sit there on a mic in a press conference 10 toes down and sit there and look people in the eye and say, Mason Rudolph, my starting quarterback, but I think we're going to go to playoffs. It's just not going to work.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh knows that.
Pittsburgh knows. I think they're finding their GM. Pittsburgh is they're in Pittsburgh. They're a steady franchise. They're going to take their time. You don't think so, Craig?
If they get Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't buy it. I'm not buying it.
I think if they get Jimmy, I think they'll be like they'll be a playoff team. I think
they won a playoff team last year.
Yeah, I said. You said they weren't a playoff team.
They weren't, were they?
Yeah, they made it to the playoffs.
They did. Yeah,
Listen, I didn't say they were going to be good.
Oh, that's right. They had that tie and they played.
I just said playoff team. I just said playoff team. Don't do it.
Oh, man.
I didn't say.
You're not making the playoffs with Jimmy Garoppolo.
He'll be all right, man.
Damn, I forgot.
Yeah, they did. Because
that's crazy.
Supposed to be. Yeah, it was.
They lost the Chiefs first round.
Lost the Chiefs. Yeah, they got blown up.
Yeah. Again for a second time. All
right, so. Let's talk about the Commanders. The Commanders traded for Carson Wentz.
Congratulations on your quarterback.
Corey, what's going on? Are y'all tanking? Are y'all taking from Bryce Young?
No. Oh no. So Zach Kiefer of The Athletic put out an article. Maybe a couple hours after the trade happened. Kind of walking through a little bit of what happened in Indianapolis with Wentz. And, it's Frank Reich went out on a limb, vouched for Carson Wentz, sold Irsay and Ballard that he could fix them and convinced them to make the trade. It wasn't just on the field that caused this to happen.
That's the whole HBO thing, Corey.
Well, I think the Hard Knock stuff was agreed to pretty early in the season, but it's failures, a lack of leadership. The people in the front office didn't have faith that Carson Wentz could lead the team, and it was decided. So right after that Jacksonville game, as soon as they get back to Indianapolis, Irsay pulled Ballard and Reich in for a meeting. I'm pretty sure talked about it after that
was pissed.
Yes. It was in that meeting, it was decided Wentz would not come back. Irsay was furious. He's been furious.
That's crazy.
You hear a lot of the things that were kind of rumbled about Wentz from Philadelphia. It turns out it's the same stuff again. He didn't respond well to tough coaching in Indianapolis from Taylor and Reich. He, wouldn't take his checkdowns, tried to play too much hero ball, tried to do too much more than what he was being asked to do. And it wasn't, the vaccination status, putting the team at risk by not getting vaccinated was a big deal because you're supposed to be a team leader as the starting quarterback. And so it was like this stuff was building well before that last month of the season when his play took a nosedive too.
It did.
And I will say this. So I feel like there had to be some major incident behind the scenes that happened because the Colts don't leak. Chris Ballard does not leak.
No, they're pretty.
A few years ago, the DeForest Buckner trade came out of nowhere. And that was a massive trade. Number 13 pick for an all-pro defensive tackle. Not a word was mentioned until it was announced. The Carson Wentz trade, not a word of it came out until the trade happened. But you listen to basically anybody in NFL at the Combine in Indianapolis last week, everybody knew Carson Wentz was done in Indianapolis. That's how upset and how done Chris Ballard was. So I really want to know what the dirt was that caused Chris Ballard to be that open with basically everyone that Carson Wentz was gone. So and then you look at the trade itself.
Yeah.
I thought the Colts were going to have to eat some of Wentz's salary this year and maybe get like a second or a third round pick. Ballard was able to move up 5 places in the second round this year. Got a third round pick this year and a third round pick next year that can become a 2.
Yep. And we eating that full 28.
Eating all that.
And the Colts aren't paying a dime and now have $70 million in cap space to mess with in free agency.
Like 20 or 30.
Washington has like $5 million after absorbing Carson Wentz's salary.
Yep.
So moves are going to have to happen for them now too.
Yeah. So my thoughts about it after listening to people and talking. Jim Irsay was pissed. That's what this led to. It led to the not being vaccinated and you losing to Jacksonville. He was pissed. I heard that. And you're right, Corey. Coach stuff doesn't leak. But they said Irsay was furious. Like, no. Right? So I think that it's interesting. It's a quarterback league. We took the hit. I talked to a lot of Washington fans today. They don't like it. Once again, I told you guys I need therapy. Okay? I was not happy at all. I told you what I want to do, but I would be fired as a GM in the NFL because I like to wait. I would draft. I would really go into Heineke, or I would get maybe Jameis Winston or Trubisky on a 1-year, $10 million deal, and I would load up, just keep building through the draft, and next year quarterback. Like I would know going into next year we're gonna have a top 5 pick, so I might even just start with Heineke, like whatever, right? People are like, oh, that's not winning. It is because I'm building my roster and I want a quarterback, right? This is not a good quarterback class, but patience is a virtue and it's not a virtue in the NFL. It's not. Like they don't like to. I can't do that. I would have been fired. They would have been like, you sound crazy.
Not for long.
Not for long. I would have got fired. So that's what I would like to do. So after calming down, listen, the NFC is a weak conference. It's not that many quarterbacks. We'll probably make the playoffs. I don't know anything after that. I think Carson Wentz is a better quarterback than Heineke. I don't know. You know, we did we get a second in that?
I think we swapped seconds with
them. Seconds, which is like we didn't. Besides the hit, we still have most of our draft capital 5 spots, right? So we didn't have to trade a first. We might give up a future second, which we probably are. He's probably going to play 70%. So in hindsight, he is better than Heineke. And if he misses games, Heineke is a phenomenal backup. So, but we're not going to build the roster like we want to. Now we do have to hit on this first round though. Or trade.
I get that. I get that.
Up, now
finish, I get that.
Now I can look for either. Well, we talked about it. We can get a safety. Yeah. We can get a corner. We can get a linebacker. We can get man.
It was
we can get a tackle. Yeah. Like we have this is like all we can trade down and still get a good corner. It's a deep draft for corners and linebackers. It's a deep draft for offensive linemen, not D tackles necessarily, but offensive linemen, linebackers, and corners.
It's top heavy for D tackles, but not like overall heavy.
Not overall heavy.
But one thing I saw, so Tom McShay and them had to change their mock draft after the Wentz trade. One thing I did see was they had us getting Kenny Pickett from Pittsburgh, but after this trade, I think they said who they say we get him. I think they said New Orleans would get him. They said New Orleans would get him in the first round, and they had us getting the linebacker from Utah, a versatile kid. He's kind of like an off the ball type person. Yeah. They said that would be the move we get in that scheme. Yeah, because like you said, with us taking this Wentz hit, we almost will have to pull. Our draft almost had to look similar to what Carolina's draft looked like 2 years ago. All defense. It would almost have to be all linebacker, secondary play. Like, we should not be maybe, but shoot, them first 2 to 3 picks need to be linebacker and secondary, because that secondary was hard. That thing was piss poor. Like it was sometimes I'm looking like, oh, y'all NFL veterans, like, why are we looking lost like this? People were running wide open. I'm like, are you serious right now? Yeah. Like, did you watch film? Did you study? Like, what is going on here? Like, people running wide open. I'm like, huh?
And there's no cap hit next year. Wentz is not on the cap, but he's
so Wentz, I was like one.
Doesn't go against the cap, right? Corey, is that?
No, so he's under contract for 3 more seasons.
Yeah.
This is the last year of guaranteed money. So if you cut him after the next year, you wouldn't have any dead money on your cap.
Yeah. But we got to eat the $28 million for this year. Yeah, we got to eat that. Yeah.
And his salary isn't insanely under. It's like under $30 million for the last 2 years each.
Yeah, that's okay. That's cheap for a quarterback. This is to a playoff
these days. Yeah.
Hey, it's cheap for a quarterback. So
I will say I did see that the trade started as a 4th and a 6th. That's what Washington offered, and then we ended up with a pair of 3s.
Because I listen, we knew we weren't going to get Wilson once that went through. Right. So 2 things.
It looks like they immediately pivoted.
It was 2 things. It was 2 things. Like, so it was like, do we want to get Wilson? 2 things. Wilson could have wanted to, but it looks like Seahawks were like, no NFC, and then we're not on the West Coast. So it's like, all right, they want to be on the West Coast. Never makes sense. We were rumored to get Deshaun Watson. Something's happening with the court case. Bam, we're out. Let's get Wentz. We'll have cap space for the next 2 years. Cap's probably going to go up again. So, I mean, it was, to me, it was a win for the Commanders. I was about to say Washington football team, or is this the Commanders? Great. What do you think?
Oh, man, I don't think it was a win for the Commanders, just because I thought they probably could have waited until. Because there was rumors, I would assume there was rumors that he was going to get cut. So if they cut him, then they don't have to trade anything for him. They could just pick him up. It seems like they just got maybe desperate, and they tried to go out, since they couldn't get Rodgers, they couldn't get Stafford last year, they couldn't get Wilson. It's like they just, I don't know, they wanted to make a move, and they were aggressive.
You don't mind that they got it. It's the timing.
I just thought, I don't mind that they got him. Like, I just thought that maybe they probably could have just waited. But I mean, they got to upgrade at quarterback, which is, I mean, because Heineke's just not, he's just a backup at best. Yeah. But you just look at the numbers. The numbers are pretty much similar across the board for the most part. Like, all the stats between Heineke and Wentz, except for interceptions. Wentz had 7, Heineke had 15, but everything else, it seems like, was pretty much close. Like yards per attempt, total yards, and everything, like all this completion percentage, everything. So looking at it that way, it might not have, but I mean, Wentz was in a more of a heavier run offense, a run first offense versus Washington. So, and he had a better running back as well. You could easily hand the ball off to Taylor multiple times a game, or 20 some plus times a game. I just think if they get everybody healthy, on it, especially on the defensive side, the defense wasn't good last year, and they played like they did 2 years ago. I think Washington would be fine. It's just I just thought they could have kept their picks and everything like that, and maybe just waited for him to get released if the Colts were going to actually release him. If they weren't, then I mean, maybe it turns out to be a good move, or maybe you could have went and got, I don't know, somebody like Jimmy Garoppolo or Mr. Trubisky or something like that, maybe save some picks or something like that. But
the thing is though, I listen, I agree with you. I agree, but I don't know. Somebody would have traded for him.
Maybe. I mean, you don't know, but I mean, it's like Carson Wentz goes from one bad division to another bad division. So in that sense, he's I mean, he has a chance to win the division. It's just
he has to beat the Giants.
So happened. Well, I mean, the only good thing the only good thing is that you had 2 playoff teams in the NFC East. That might, I mean, other than that, I mean, you're really not. He's probably the second best quarterback in that division now.
Yeah,
basically the second best quarterback.
Nah, he definitely is.
He definitely back in the division last year.
Listen, he definitely Carson Wentz definitely second best quarterback in the division. Like hands down, it shouldn't be a discussion argument.
Second best in the division.
I think he was the best. Tannehill is not good.
Yeah,
you had a rookie in Mills, and you had a rookie in whatever his name is in Houston.
Davis Mills.
Davis Mills. Yeah. So I mean, he's the best quarterback in the division last year. Now he comes in, he's the second best. But I mean, it's the situations. I don't think the situation is better.
Yeah. How about this?
I think the Colts are a better team.
I think the Colts are a better team. Do you think, Corey, was it the lack of offensive weapons? Because besides Taylor and Pittman, do you think that?
No, it's bad reads, bad throws. There was a Colts blogger that had the perfect example of Carson Wentz's time in Indianapolis. It was 2 plays from the Jaguars game, Week 18. The first one was a beautiful throw over the middle to T.Y. Hilton that was like perfectly over a linebacker's shoulder in between 3 defenders for like a 15-yard completion. The next one was he looked down Mo Alley Cox, double pumped, threw it into coverage, picked off.
I knew it was picked.
And it's both plays were the same game, and it's just I don't know that, like, he was comfortable in the offense. He was comfortable with the coach. You know, he had a elite level running game to lean back on. And I think the biggest knock on Wentz was his play got worse as the season progressed. And you look at him statistically throughout a game, he is worse as the game goes on. So when you need a quarterback to step in and make a big play, Wentz was not able to do it. The Colts were 2-5 in 1-score games last year.
Damn. Okay. So are y'all taking? Are y'all taking?
No. The Colts aren't taking. Jim Irsay wants to go back to the playoffs. The division is winnable. Tennessee's an okay team. They're not unbeatable. Everyone's throwing around Jimmy Garoppolo. That doesn't make a ton of sense to me because he's going to want an extension if you trade for him, and he's not worth $35 million a year
at all.
Yeah, he's going to want an extension. Yeah.
I think Nick Foles could be an interesting stopgap option. You'll probably be able to get him for like a 6th-round pick from Chicago, and
Corey,
if not that,
you're not making the playoffs. You just know that, right?
Well, no, it's you get Nick Foles as a stopgap and potentially go after a quarterback in this draft. There were reports that the Colts do like 2 of these quarterbacks. Which 2? Who knows?
I don't know.
But if
if they drafted a quarterback in this draft, which 2 do you think that you would like? That you'd be like, okay, I like this quarterback. I feel very comfortable.
Sam Howell intrigues me.
Okay.
His skill set lines up a lot with what Frank Reich likes in a quarterback. He has some mobility to him. He's got a strong arm to push it down the field.
Okay.
So that would be a really interesting option to pair with Frank Reich. I think Desmond Ridder would be an interesting option.
I like
end of 1, top of round 2. Just because he performed pretty well with a with not the level of talent around him that a lot of the other quarterbacks have.
I like him for some reason, man. I've been doing some research at quarterbacks. I think he's going to be an interesting one if y'all get him in the second round. I like him.
Yeah, I mean, if one of these guys falls to 42,
I could see Howell, and I could see Ritter there. I could. It's a possibility because, I mean, right now I see Willis, who I think is going to get overdrafted.
Yes,
and I see Pickett
and Corral. I think are all three definite round one guys.
Round ones. But then after that, I don't think you see a quarterback.
I want no part of Carson Strong.
Nah, I'm good with that, man. I saw him.
Maybe 15 years ago. Today's NFL, no thank you.
Nah. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be really.
But I think, like, say the Colts get Sam Howell. I think going into next year with Nick Foles, Sam Howell, Sam Eilinger, a decent quarterback room, and I think they would overall potentially be in better shape than what they were.
Corey, if you do that, you're drafting a quarterback. Y'all gonna do what y'all did with Luck.
And I mean, you got all pro running back.
You know that, Corey. I just want you to be prepared. If y'all go with Sam, and I think Irsay would do it. I think Irsay will be like, who is it coming out? Bryce Young. I think Bryce Young is so small, though. Isn't he small? It's like
Bryce Young and
that could work.
CJ Stroud are two top.
He's what? Yeah. Say it again, Craig. What happened?
CJ Stroud is the best from Ohio State.
Yeah, Ohio State.
Do you think CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, and then there's some other quarterbacks. What's his name?
It's a couple, but they ain't good. It's one more. I'm trying to think of his name. It's a couple.
Guy from USC.
But do you think?
Yeah. Now Williams got 2 more years though. I think the kid that just transferred got 2 more years.
Got 2 years. Yeah. So Corey? Do you see that? Not to say there's an Andrew Luck. It could be. Do you see doing that? Like
I think they're going.
Oregon maybe.
They're going to their plan is to win now. So there's no doing anything to try to lose to get a better draft pick next year. They are all in on winning this season. I think that they've got the defense to win this season. I think you just add they need a left tackle now since Eric Fisher is not coming back.
Got the cap space, man.
Yeah. Add a wide receiver, add a left tackle, add a tight end, and all you're missing is the quarterback at that point. Like they do need a defensive end too. They need a solid edge rusher. But as we'll get to, I believe today, edge actually has some depth to it in free agency this year.
It does. It has a lot. All right. So let's talk about the free agents, right? So we're going to start the quarterbacks, and then we'll talk about everybody else. That's how the league is. So it is, right? All right. So Carson Wentz is already gone. Where do you see Jimmy G, guys? What do you think is the best fit? He's not going to the Commanders.
The best fit.
Yeah,
I think I think the best fit is to stay where he's at.
San Francisco.
I think that's the best.
Backup?
To me, if he's going to be, I think I'll throw one more name out there. We got to run this gambit, but I think either there or go back with his old coordinator and go to Oakland or go to LA. But I don't think that's going to happen. He's not going to play over Derek Carr.
Oh yeah.
So at this point, if we're and the reason I'm saying best fit, I'm not saying system wise. I'm thinking if he truly wants to win, like where could he go? Where could he go? Where could he go right now? Where could he go right
Tampa.
now? Tampa. And you still, if he go to Tampa right now, they got to change that offense. He can't run the offense that they was running there. They would have to change the offense for him. You think he can run an offense that he was running with Brady, wide open offense with motions, throwing the ball? I don't trust his arm like that. I'm just not a Jimmy G throwing the ball fan.
His arm's as good as Brady's. His mobility's as good as Brady's.
Is his thought process? And reads as good as Brady? I mean, nobody's is, but that's fair. I don't know. I mean,
those reads become a lot easier when you're throwing to Godwin and Evans.
That's fair, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with y'all on that. Tampa, okay, but my honest thing is,
You think Sam?
Because this is my thing. Are we seeing something behind the scenes that we don't know that Lance is looking that good to play him? Because my thing was, if he was looking that good, why didn't they play him during the season like that? Why, if you got an offensive mind like who you have, why wasn't he playing in packages like that? Is his growth that substantial over this all season or during the season that you feel like you about to give up this man when y'all just went to the NFC Championship game?
Some people have been saying that. Some people have that they're going to bring him back one more year. I don't think so. I think
when you trade up that high to pick a quarterback, I think you have to play him.
Yeah, you got to just for him.
In the second
year. Yeah, it's that for a year.
He's playing next year. He played a little bit this year, but I mean, it wasn't much because you got a quarterback who's prone to get hurt.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, if he goes anywhere he goes, whether it's Tampa, Pittsburgh, or whatever, you're going to have a solid backup or somewhat of a decent backup because he's probably going to get hurt.
I mean, all right. So does he? If he goes to Pittsburgh right now, do we still call Pittsburgh a playoff team?
Yeah,
I just said I wouldn't a few minutes ago. I'm sticking with that, but it's mostly because of no, I can't do it. I just think that the teams around the teams that they have to compete against, Cincinnati and Baltimore, are that much better than teams in the NFC South like Carolina and Atlanta.
Cleveland's decent.
I mean,
no, that North is it's all around solid division.
Cleveland, whatever. I'm just saying, like, don't care. They got a bad quarterback too. So I mean, but the division is a lot better. It's a lot, and plus you're also still playing in the AFC versus playing in the NFC. So
hard
exactly.
He just left the tough.
He did.
And listen.
Baker there again.
Listen, Baker has disappointed me, and I still didn't have high expectations for him. He's disappointed me for the expectations I had of him, and it wasn't that high to begin with. It wasn't like I thought he was gonna be Pro Bowl, come out there, turn up the league. But Lord have mercy. That Green Bay game, I sat back like, who are you throwing the ball to? Like, what are you doing right there?
He's the best quarterback Cleveland's had in a while.
I ain't saying that.
Since they became a franchise again in '99. I will say Vegas is an interesting place for Garoppolo because if the Raiders turn out not wanting to pay Derek Carr $40 million a year, the Colts called the Raiders about Carr's availability last offseason before trading for Carson Wentz. I expect them to call the Raiders again this offseason to check on Carr's availability. They got the cap. They have the willingness to pay. So if the Raiders were to move on for Carr for a series of draft picks,
it'd be Denver all over again for McDaniels. He do that.
So that would be that. So they would get Jimmy Garoppolo
and then trade Derek Carr to the Colts. Lord have mercy.
Free team.
I don't know if the NFL can do a 3-team trade. I don't think you can, but the Colts would likely be sending multiple ones for Derek Carr, and then you would send a couple of twos for Garoppolo.
Then
so in the end, the Raiders would still come out ahead if they think they could win with Jimmy G.
That might be interesting. I wonder if that's been discussed because Derek Carr is gonna want.
The reports were that he was looking at like over at least $40 million a year on his next extension. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. So let's talk about. Well, Deshaun Watson's still in limbo, so that's not really, till he gets traded. I know his case comes up April 1st. So, Jameis Winston. Surprised he hasn't. Him and we could talk about Mitch Trubisky. I don't. Teddy Bridgewater exactly what he is. He's a bridge quarterback. Marcus Mariota exactly what he is. Bridge quarterback. But we know what Teddy Bridgewater is, though. Teddy Bridgewater is a bridge quarterback. but what do you think? What do you think about Jameis? Teams are not. I think they're a little weary of his ACL. Do you see him back in New Orleans, or do you see him? Where do you see him
I don't know. I mean, I got him in New Orleans still. I just think New Orleans still needs a quarterback. They got a new head coach. I don't know if he wants to go. I don't know what his plan is. I don't know if he wants to go into the season with Taysom Hill again. And I mean, he knows Taysom Hill, obviously, but I don't think Taysom Hill is that good of a quarterback. I don't think he's an actual quarterback. I think he's a gadget quarterback. And I don't think he can
like him as a quarterback?
Taysom Hill? Yeah, let him go ahead and start. I don't care. Let him start. I'm just saying, if you're a Saints fan, I don't think I would want Taysom Hill as a starter for 17 games. Yeah, I don't think he's that good. I think he's a gadget quarterback. He can come in and get a nice 10-play package for you, whatever it is, and be good. But I think Jameis is, I mean, the injury is going to hinder him, and the new, probably the coaching staff that they got going on or whatever it is. I don't know if the new coach is fond of him or whatever it is, but he was 5-2 as a starter last year until he got hurt. So his team was playing pretty good. I mean, so I don't know what unless I guess maybe they have a quarterback that they want to draft if they're not going to re-sign James, because I don't think the Saints are blowing it up. I mean, I haven't really heard anything, but I don't think they're.
I heard. I mean, I haven't heard that either.
So if you're not going to blow it up, then that means you probably going to get a veteran quarterback somehow. Mm-hmm. I would assume. And the division has never been. I mean, it's terrible. So it's very winnable. You probably win the division at 8-9. I mean, so it's not like any team is far and away the best team hitting shoulders, especially with the Atlanta stuff. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know what's the issue there, but James Winston, I can only see him signing with the Saints again. I don't know where else he can go.
I agree.
I don't either. I mean, I would stay right there. Like you said, correct. He was 5-2 as a starter. He was playing well. It wasn't like he was looking like the 30 for 30 he used to be. He wasn't looking like 30 to 30, you know what I'm saying? So I would say, okay, do that now. You give yourself options. If you keep him, you really don't have to get a quarterback first round unless you want to trade back into the first round or you want to get one just for that 5th-year option. But I think it's still going to be one of these guys going to slide the second round. I don't think all these guys are going to be first rounders. So you'll still be able to get one second round and maybe get something to help, because honestly, you need another receiver. I don't know what the issue is. Was that resolved with Kamar getting a charge? Did he get arrested during the Pro Bowl or something crazy?
He did. I don't know about the charge.
Yeah, I don't know if the charge was dropped.
They're still pending.
Yeah, so you gotta do something. But I think if I'm Jameis, I stay right there and let the chips fall where it may. I don't like if you go somewhere, you're not going nowhere with a contender, or you're not going somewhere, and no disrespect, but you're not going somewhere, and it's not like New Orleans roster is deep offensively necessarily, unless Thomas comes back. I mean, you got Thomas Kamara. If you take just them two alone, where is he going to get signed to that's going to have a better roster offensively? Like, any team he goes to is going to be a bottom seller team that just wants to get a stopgap just for you to fill a roster spot right now.
I mean,
I think he's best bet is to stay there.
The market is drying. You got to remember, right? Now, the market is drying up, right? Colts trade Carson Wentz. Commanders have a quarterback. Denver has a quarterback.
I mean, there's still about 8 teams out there, I think, that need a quarterback.
There's still a lot, yeah, but I just don't. I think it's going to be.
Yeah, the quarterbacks, yeah, they're not.
Yeah, I just don't think it's. I think the options are getting.
Yeah.
Few.
That just means teams are going to overpay, unfortunately, and I hope it's not Carolina. But I mean, I don't think they're getting Deshaun Watson. I don't think they have a chance. I never thought they were going to get him. So
you don't think? Think Carolina?
Nah, I don't think they can get him, especially with his no trade clause. But I mean, it's just it's just about 8 teams out there that I can think of off the top of my head that either need a quarterback or maybe could bring it like the Giants. They don't really. I don't know if they really necessarily need a quarterback, but you could bring somebody in to compete.
I heard they trying to get Mr. Trubisky.
I heard that too, but I mean that's you. And they got 2 guys who are not good, just battling out for what? I don't know, but I mean, but the market, like you said, the market is other than the top 3. guys that were out there. 2 of them are gone already, and you got one. And after that is like Carson Wentz, and then it's Jimmy Garoppolo, and
they're gonna trade
and
where he wants to go.
That's
what I feel.
They're gonna appease him. Yeah, I mean,
No, that's why I agree. Yeah, they're gonna trade him to where he wants to go.
I mean, unless somebody makes a trade for Kirk Cousins or his contract is crazy. Well, even though he got 1 year left, but 35 minutes, and then you got what's the dude in Atlanta? Matt Ryan, who's the de facto best quarterback in that division now. But I mean, even still, like, I don't know if anybody wants to trade for him because he's up there in age, but he can't move at all.
They said in the offseason, they were like, oh, the Vikings are going to get rid of Kirk Cousins. I was like, no, they're not.
Who wants that?
They're going to re him up.
I would not want to pick him.
Let me tell you something. If
re him up.
Daniel Jones should be ashamed of himself right now because I heard the Giants are pushing hard to get Mr. Trubisky. Yeah. Listen. That's a true sign that Daniel Jones, you have now failed and flopped.
He has time to prove it.
Yeah.
Clearly, the coach there saw something in Trubisky when he was in Buffalo because there's nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing
that I would want to see from Michigan.
And to be honest with you here, like what bringing him in does what to your division? Who you think you get better? You over jump bringing him in. You don't. That doesn't make you better than us. That doesn't make you better than Philly. It darn sure don't make you better than Dallas. So what does bringing in Mitchell Trubisky? What does that do for you?
It's a good time to be a quarterback, man. Because I mean, you got middle of the road, terrible below average quarterbacks that are going to get paid.
Yep, we'll get paid.
The teams are desperate to try to find a quarterback,
and they should call thing Aaron Rodgers.
This is the best year that I can think of for mediocre, below average quarterbacks. The draft sucks.
So who's
terrible?
Yeah.
Like this
who's
is
next to get out of quarterbacks? Who's next to get that big deal? Lamar's next up because what? Allen just got his, right?
Lamar's next up.
Yeah, Lamar's gonna be next up. Then it's gonna be Herbert. I think then it's gonna be Herbert
for himself.
I can see Lamar doing the Holmes type of deal where it's long-term, team-friendly, but he's gonna get paid. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be like Dak. Dallas already asking Dak to sign a bonus because he's taking.
I think Lamar plays under the tag for at least 1 year.
Yeah. Yep. That's what people are saying. Omar said that. He said he was like they might tag him for 1 year. So he's going to get more expensive. Sign him early. It's not, especially if he keeps winning. If he keeps winning and say, don't let him win a Super Bowl. Don't let them win a Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson this year. He's going to ask for 50. The problem is when you wait long, it's going to cost you more.
Risk reward.
It's like I learned that from Kirk Cousins, man.
So far, no team has won holding off on just paying their starting quarterback.
Nope. All quarterbacks. The last couple Super Bowls,
player wins.
Quarterbacks have been like they've counted for like 12% or something. Like it's not a big number. Like they got Matthew Stafford wasn't getting paid a lot. Tom Brady wasn't getting paid a lot. Patrick Mahomes wasn't getting paid a lot. Russell Wilson it's other areas that you have to focus on for your team to win a Super Bowl. Even when Nick Foles won it, Carson Wentz is still on his rookie deal. So the idea is most quarterbacks, I think what Corey is saying, like you're not gonna get to the Super Bowl if you're paying your quarterback 35% of your cap.
Yeah, no,
the way it works.
It's man,
the way it works. Like
Casey's about to find out.
Shit.
Hey, listen. Yeah. Hey, well, you see some franchise tags went out. I see
Yep.
I see the Chiefs franchise tag their tackle.
Yep. Franchise tags. Godwin got franchise tag. Chris Godwin got franchise tags by the Buccaneers. Cam Robinson, the left tackle, got franchise tag by the Jaguars. Devontae Adams got franchise tag by the Packers. Cowboys got franchise tag by Dalton Schultz. David Nyakwe got franchise tag. Got his name right. Got franchise tag by the Browns and Jesse James.
Yeah,
Cincinnati.
And I heard
safety Jesse Bates.
Yeah.
Third.
I heard the Patriots said they're not going to franchise tag.
Didn't.
The Patriots said they're not
JC
going to
Jackson.
franchise tag J.C. Jackson. That's going to be interesting.
Test free agency.
Yeah. Ooh, man. Yeah.
So the free agency is
it's gonna be too rich for our blood. It's gonna be too rich for our blood. It's gonna be too rich for our blood.
It is.
He signed a cornerback last year and he was not good.
Let me ask.
Oh yeah, from Cincinnati. Yeah, he was lost in the sauce. Yeah, he was lost.
Let me ask Craig this. I'm gonna ask everybody. All right, Craig, free agents. Who do you want your team to get? Carolina. Who do you want?
Offensive tackle. You know what? If they
got draft, y'all gonna draft that guy Cross.
I don't know. I've been seeing Cody Pickett a lot, man, and Willis. So I don't really know, man. The mock drafts are throwing me off. Now I wouldn't have a big problem with Willis or Pickett if they would not. If they don't, if they go out and they get offensive line help. Okay. If they don't get offensive line help and then they draft a quarterback, then yeah, I'm turning the stream off. I'm turning it off. Just letting you know right now. They don't get offensive linemen. I said it a few weeks ago. I'm turning this off. I'm not going to be. I don't want no parts of it. But if they go out and get some line help, because they need linemen, they need offensive linemen, especially a left tackle, a right tackle. They need a tight end, and they need a safety and a pass rusher because they could not stop the run last year. But I mean, a safety definitely. But for the most part, their priority should be.
I had his son Riddick and.
Yeah, but he's a free agent. Riddick's a free agent.
Brian Burns.
Yeah, Brian Burns is still there, but I mean, they need somebody on the other side. Riddick was on the other side, but he's not going to. I mean, who knows if he's going to be there if Carolina doesn't re-sign him? I don't know what they're going to do. Haven't heard no.
Okay, I got you.
Things about it. We're not blah blah blah. And then they're obviously their cornerbacks are. I mean, they still got 3 cornerbacks, but who knows what they're going to do with Gilmore and Jackson on the other side. Like those were I guess the de facto starters late in the season. Yeah. But I mean, if they can't, like Fisher will be a good. There's no real good young offensive left tackles that are like good. The guy out of New Orleans, he's going to demand a bunch. But he's
Armstead. Yeah, he came out.
Yeah. He's like the top free agent now because after Adams got franchise tagged and Godwin got franchise tagged, so like he's the main guy. But I mean, he's going to cost, and obviously I would like to have him as a left tackle, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But I mean, left tackles
cost money. Man.
Priority. Quarterback is a priority too, obviously, but you gotta. I mean, I would just go out and try to get a left tackle.
I can't say left tackles do cost because we got Charles Leno. So I mean,
Morgan Moses is out there.
You just want a decent. I got you. You don't want a
Fisher's out there.
Fisher is out there. You don't want a world beater. You just want
I want somebody that's good that can pass block.
Yeah.
Give me somebody.
That's not Eric Fisher.
It ain't. But Nate Solder's out there. Dwayne Brown from Seattle. Ryan Jensen, the center from Tampa, is a free agent. The center,
y'all could upload.
The problem is,
Riley Reef, Ben Jones from the center from Tennessee. He's good. There's a couple nice linemen free agency though.
I think the center and the right guard are decent. They just need a left tackle, right tackle, and a left guard.
I have a lot of cap space.
They got like 31 mil.
After 25?
Huh?
You know that they added 25 million.
I don't know.
The cap. It was one.
They're
200 or something.
I don't know. Maybe because I mean I think right now they have the 9th most cap space. I think they're right behind Washington or something like that in cap space.
Cap is eating up.
So now I mean when I look at it before the trade, I guess.
Yeah.
But
y'all should be y'all got some decent. Y'all got decent.
They just signed they just re-signed their kicker. So that's a plus, right?
Oh, yeah. All right.
Special teams matter.
I'm gonna ask
NFL's 3 phases.
Big move.
Corey, 70 million cap space. Who you want free agency? Who you want free agency?
Hassan Reddick. The Colts need a proven veteran pass rusher. I expect Kwity Paye to take that next step next year. He had his flashes as a rookie. I expect him to progress on that.
Yeah.
I think Dio Dangbo had a couple of flashes, but I expect him to be able to get back to form after tearing his Achilles in draft prep. But they need somebody on that other side. Be consistent.
Is he like a first rounder?
Who?
Dio
Dangbo. He was their second round pick.
Yeah.
But had he not tore his Achilles, he would have been a first round pick.
Okay, so then you're okay.
I think Emmanuel Agba probably ends up being a more likely option because he has all the measurables that Chris Ballard wants. He can bounce between inside outside like Chris Ballard wants. But Hassan Reddick is a really good edge rusher. And I think he would be a perfect opposite of Kwity Paye in that defense. I would also love to see them go get a guy like Christian Kirk or DJ Chark to go opposite of Michael Pittman. I think Chark is underrated because he never really had a great quarterback in Jacksonville. Bring him in, line him up opposite of Pittman, and whoever is throwing the football next year, we'll see, some an improvement on the outside there. They still need a left tackle. I think that's something you got to do through the draft. Somebody's going to go pay Armstead a lot of money. That doesn't. Yeah, but he's really good. You have to expect he'll be healthy. But spending that kind of money is not a Chris Ballard thing to do. So I think you get the left tackle on the draft, you get a tight end in the draft, and you address wide receiver and edge and free agency. And that's where I would go.
Yeah. So I'm reading what the Commanders' cap space was 33.
Well, damn too, right?
Now it's 2 point.
Yeah, I just saw it.
Oh, you just saw it, huh?
They were a hit up. They were a hit up. Carolina Panthers when I looked this.
Yeah,
early this afternoon.
Right there. That's what we, Matt and Jamal were talking about. We were like, "Yo, our cap space, boom. We thinking we're gonna, they want a lot of Commanders fans want." Watson, one of my friends, Jamar, he likes Heineke. Like, he's just like, listen, right? I want a quarterback, but if we're not going to get one, draft. And then, that's my thing, man. Like, I'm a big draft capital guy. I think players matter, but it's a quarterback's league. So now I'm reading that we only have $2.5 million in cap. I don't
James,
know who we can get.
Not bad.
The next question, then, who's going to be your cap casualties?
Probably Landon Collins. Landon Collins, man.
I don't see us tagging Sheriff for third straight year. I don't know.
Market.
He's gone.
Do you think William Jackson was the corner you signed last year?
Yeah, from Cincinnati.
Do you think he's back?
Yes.
I mean, he got to be back unless we cut him because that was a 2-year deal, 3-year deal, I think.
I think it was a 3-year deal, but I think they're talking about restructuring Collins, right? And we probably do some restructuring, but I mean, at this point, we wanted Tyrann Mathieu.
There's some safeties out here. I'm looking now. There's some safeties out here, but it's too rich to our blood.
We had some. That's what I'm saying. Like
McCourty, Marcus Williams, Marcus May, Quandre Diggs, all of them are free agents. Like, it's so many safeties out here in this free agency.
But we're not going to. Now, if we might be able to get a safety if we restructure Collins, which he said I think he's open, and we're going to move him to more of a linebacker role. So we'll see how that goes. But at this point, I think we're probably going to be focused on the draft, guys. Because our cap is gone. But I read that the reason we did that, Mo, is we took the hit so we could keep some of our draft capital, if it makes sense. I think the Colts are like, y'all got to take this hit.
Man, if we could find a way,
don't take this hit. Y'all gotta give up more.
I mean, we could find a way. I would love at least out of this free agency to find a consistent second receiver or safety out of this free agency, and then do the rest in the draft. Like some of these receivers, I do like. Some of them I like. I like the safeties more though. I like some of these safeties more though. So I would love to get one of these safeties. I know it's gonna be tough, but like I would between McCourty, Marcus Williams, Marcus May, Quandre Diggs. I like Kareem Jackson. Neil. I like Neil from Dallas. I think he'll bring some more physicality to our defense. I mean, I don't even think Peppers is a bad player. Jabril Peppers, I don't even think he's a bad player. You know what I'm saying? I would like for us to get something. He'd be an upgrade for what we have now. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
yeah, but we definitely need to upgrade the offensive line. The linebacker, the back seven definitely.
The offensive line is decent.
They can get up, but I mean, you got to replace Sheriff though. I mean, you got to find a way to replace Sheriff.
I think we're okay. I think we drafted. I think our O-line is deep, and remember, we still have draft picks.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, well, we might, if we do get somebody, we would have to restructure Collins and get a safety, which I agree. But restructuring as that, we have to reconstruct.
You think Hamilton will be there at 9?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's tough.
Here's the thing. I think he does because
or 11. Well,
now we're not getting. I don't think he makes nowhere at 11. I think we're gonna have a plethora of picks. Somebody's gonna overreach. I think somebody's gonna overreach for a quarterback, maybe 2, and I think that falls. I think Stingley falls. I think a quality player falls to us at 11. I think so. I just think so, man.
He ain't falling that far. Ain't no way.
11's not a crazy, 11's not crazy. It's right after.
Yeah, but when you're like a top 5 player, you're not gonna fall that far. He's not gonna fall that far.
I mean, the only way he fall that far is if some teams reach for quarterbacks early and some teams just lose their mind. But because now
I think Willis is gonna get overdrafted and pick it.
Yeah.
I mean, if they do, they're gonna get drafted right where 6. Like Carolina's gonna take him at 6, and then Seattle's gonna take a guy maybe at 9.
Yeah, 9. Yeah.
And then
who's at 10?
Hamilton goes way before both of them.
2 more prospects that fall to us, and we could trade. I would trade out. Yeah, I would trade. I would trade back. This is deep for O linemen. It's deep for linebackers. It's deep for corners, man. You can still get a quality starting corner, man. That's just me.
Hey, listen, I don't like him at 11, but I like the corner. I think that's too high for him, but I like the corner from Cincinnati. I like that corner from Cincinnati. I think it's too high at 11. It's too rich for my blood. I don't like him that much, but I like him enough to where if you trade it back, I'm cool with somebody drafting him, but not at 11. The cornerback from Cincinnati in the draft. Something Gardner. Yeah, I like him, but not 11. I think that's too high. I think that's kind of
you can trade back for him. That's what I'm saying. Great.
You're real excited, man.
I am, man. I'm pretty excited.
Hey, Craig, y'all get the quarterback first round back. I get the quarterback back. Craig, look, Craig, I'm gonna quit.
Hey, look, man, I'm telling you, if they do not go out and get offensive line help, that's what they need. Then don't draft the quarterback. I mean, if you're not going to do that, if you get offensive line help, I have no problem with them getting a quarterback because they don't have a draft pick until round 4. So you're screwing yourself by getting. And you know what makes me even mad? Well, more mad is that the owner loves Pickett. I guess they have they went to Pittsburgh or something like that. So every time I look at a mock draft, I see Pickett, and he really likes him. So I
draft him high.
Yeah.
I don't.
Owners.
This is what happens. People don't listen to football people, and they have too much money they don't know what to deal with, and they're like, "Oh,
he really loves them, man.
This is
really
a new
what happens in owners' metal.
This is a new toy. It's not like it's Tepper, right? Tepper's the owner.
Yeah, from used to be
right. It's not like it's not like Irsay or Rooney, who are the Hunts, who was just around football, right? Their dads owned it. They were just in the, like, God forbid, if Jerry Jones passes away, Stephen Jones has been making the draft picks. He's going to know. He's been around football. Like, it's a difference between if your family's from a football family where you've seen it young and you're in it. You know what players are good. You know you're going to miss on some picks, but you see how you run a football program. An owner, like I can attest, that doesn't know anything about football is going to screw your organization up. So I hope
that's why you got Matt Rule in.
That's why I hope it doesn't happen to you. Well, look, hold on. The same
thing happened.
We overpaid Spurrier.
I
do not want you to go. I don't want you to go down the same path. Where
are they not going? They already overpaid for a quarterback. They picked up his 5th-year option. They got a terrible coach who just let his offensive coordinator go. For what? I don't know.
That was weird.
Like man, he's got to go. This is why I really don't want Rule to have a good year, because if he has a good year, then you could argue the fact that you might want to keep him around for another year or two. I don't want that. I want them to go 3-14 and be sitting on 2nd or 3rd pick or something like that and draft the quarterback.
He drafts Pickett. That's gonna be crazy.
I
didn't draft Cross, man.
That's what I'm saying. But I've been seeing some drafts where Cross goes before 6. So if Cross goes before 6 and now all three offensive linemen are gone, then I think you trade back. I don't think you take Pickett there. I wouldn't. I would just try to, because you don't have any picks for 2nd and 3rd.
Or you can get
with some desperate team.
You could do a lot with that pick. You could trade. You can get the safety.
I mean, I don't. Well, yeah.
It's a high pick, but I mean, you could.
But
you can trade back. You can get a pass rusher. I mean, it's a lot of depth. I think.
The longer you go without getting some quality offensive line help, you just putting your quarterback wherever it is. I
don't see y'all trading. Well, you could trade back. That would be a good position. You'll load up on some. You might get a 2nd round.
They're one of the worst teams last year. Just look at the offensive stats last year. Just look at them. See where they ranked in passing yards and anything pretty much offense. Quarterback sacks given up. They were terrible. They're just points per game. They're just not good, man.
Y'all might get Pickett. I'm just saying, man. I know how it is. The owner doesn't know about football.
Pickett had the same last
20 years. 20 years of mediocrity, man. Just I'm just telling you,
Pickett is not worth a 6th pick. But
no, he's not. They said that I was listening to Colin Coward. He was like, he talked to people in the NFL. And it was like Pickett's a 3rd round.
I think he's solid. Man,
he was like, if you overdraft, one quarterback that should be probably overdrafted is Willis, just because of his arm strength and his ability. But he still has to sit a year. But any other quarterback, 2nd or 3rd rounder. That's what I heard, man. That's,
Yeah.
All right.
I think 3 of them go in the 1st round, at least.
I can't wait. We're going to do a live show. Hopefully we can get Joe on here. All right, so let's go to. We already talked about. All right, let's talk about the NBA. All right, so we're gonna start off with the Lakers. They're in a nice spot in the Western Conference. LeBron scored 56, but then they lost to the Spurs. Does anybody see the Lakers winning in the play-in?
I do, because
I think they're going to make the plan. I think
it's only because, and I'm only saying yes, and no disrespect to anybody else, because I don't know what Anthony Davis' health is looking like, but I'm only saying yes because I think LeBron James would come out just guns blazing, like, nah, you're not. I'm at least gonna make the playoffs. Now you ain't gonna put me out in no play-in game. You know what I'm saying? But look what's waiting on them on that other. They all right. So this is where, if they're going to run, their best bet is to catch a young, don't know no better Memphis team. If they run into Phoenix or they run to Golden State, they might get swept at this stage. They might get broomed. I'm sorry, I love LeBron James to death, but it might be a broom job. Like, it might be straight, get the brooms ready. It's going to be over really quickly. Their best bet is to try to get in and find some way to match up with and even right now, shoot, even if they play Denver right now, I think they might get a game. Maybe get a game right now. You know, if you're lucky, but they darn sure don't want to play Phoenix nor Golden State after that playing game. They'll get broomed. It'd be ugly. It wouldn't even be worth watching. The only reason it'd be worth watching is because LeBron playing. That might be the only reason I'm like, I'll sit back and watch. Like, but their best bet is to find some way to match up with Memphis because, I mean, yeah, I love Ja Morant, but are they ready for the big stage? I mean, yeah, you're having a good regular season, but I don't know come playoff time where they show up and be ready. I think Lakers can catch them, a young team, don't know no better yet, catch them off guard.
Mm. The thing is, Craig, go ahead. I want to hear Craig on this one. I know how I feel about it, but go ahead. I want to hear Craig, man.
The thing is that they're in ninth. So the highest they can basically go is eighth. And if they go eighth, that means they got to play Phoenix. They're not going to beat Phoenix, even healthy.
Yeah.
They're just losing too many games, and the Clippers have let me see. The Clippers are what?
Clippers are eighth. They're 34-33.
They're 4.5 games up. They're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna catch them. They still could. They're not gonna catch them. They're not gonna catch Minnesota. They're 8 games back. And the way that they're going with losing all, and they got a tough schedule. They got the toughest schedule remaining in the NBA. So I think they can win the first game wherever they play, which is probably going to be New Orleans. Now, unless New Orleans somehow gets Zion back,
right?
They probably. I can see the Lakers losing that game.
And they beat New Orleans last time.
No, it's just a regular season game. I'm not putting new stuff. But when LeBron comes playoff time, he does that 0 dark 30 thing. I could understand where he's going to put up 60 points or something like that and make his team go to the next game, I guess, whatever it is, and play Minnesota or the Clippers. But I don't know if they can get past. I think they can win the first game. I don't know about the second game because they're going to play it on the road. And then even if they win, they're going to go to the AC. So what is it? I mean, I just don't. I don't know. And then the Clippers call George back, huh?
Let me ask this. Because say the Clippers lock the 8 seed, what does the play do?
What is what?
The play-in is what is the play? Is the play-in in the
play-in is 7 versus 8. Yeah. Whoever wins 7-8 gets automatically the 7 seed. But the loser of 7-8 plays the winner of 9-10.
Right.
Whoever wins that game between the loser and the winner gets 8 seed.
Hey man, let me tell you this.
So right now it would be Minnesota, Craig, versus the Clippers.
Yeah. But the Lakers, regardless of who's in the 9-10, regardless, is playing for the 8 seed. They're not playing for the 7. So that means they're going to play Phoenix. I just don't see it. Yeah. I don't see them beating Phoenix.
Let me tell you this though. I want Minnesota to stay in that 7th because I would love to see Minnesota play either the Grizzlies or the Warriors first round. I think that'd be it's just excitement. Like I'm not saying they would win, but I think just to see that young talent, that goonish talent, I think that'd be a good matchup. Because Clippers right now is like Paul George ain't healthy, Kawhi not playing. It really doesn't strike my interest like that as much as it would be to see Timberwolves play one of them.
I think George is coming back though. I would assume soon, at least maybe before the end of the year. I mean, and you got
Kawhi started making shots, started shooting.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. And then you got Porter coming back for Denver. You got maybe Murray coming back for Denver.
I think both of them are supposed to come back for Denver around the same time, Craig.
Yeah, I think the Lakers lucked up by having Dame Lillard not be healthy. And he's done for the season. By having Zion not be healthy.
Yep.
Hadn't played all year. And I mean, they were fortunate in that way. And by having the play-in game that LeBron basically said whoever made that play-in game should be fired a couple years ago. Now look at him. He's in the play-in game back-to-back years. And I mean, he should be happy. So I don't know. I mean, obviously when LeBron plays, he's a force, and if they get Anthony Davis back, they're just not a cohesive big three to be on the court together with Russell Westbrook. So I don't know where that goes. I don't even think Russell Westbrook comes back next year because he's just made some stupid comments, man, and I don't get it.
The expectation comment.
That's dumb. That's because everybody knows when you go to the Lakers or the Celtics, especially the Lakers, your expectations are championship. Everybody knows. It's the same with going to the Cowboys or going, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They come out there and say that. If you're a Laker or a former Laker like Shaq or
Shaq
Magic Johnson, like you have to have some type of pissed off attitude about that because there's no reason
like,
it's like he's just playing because he has his money and he doesn't care about. He's the opposite. He's like Kyrie Irving, basically, is what he reminds me of, because the attitude and he's getting his money. That's all he cares about. Seems like he doesn't care about winning, and that's pretty much it. Like he doesn't care. It's not even his bad play. His bad play is bad, but it's not like I wouldn't want you to come pay for my team again next year. Bad. It's the comments.
He's not taking no accountability.
He's not. He just doesn't care. He keeps saying he has a great family and he's a champion off the court, a champion in life, and all this stuff, but he doesn't have any expect. Why'd you go there?
Yeah.
Why did you want to get traded there? Why did you?
Everybody said that this is how Russ has been playing his whole career. Here's the thing. When you're in Oklahoma City without Kevin Durant, you average triple-double, everybody's cool. You're in Houston. It's a small market, right? You're in the Washington Wizards, small market. You go to LA or you go to Boston or you go to New York.
Now your whole game. Now you really getting picked apart. Now because his game is getting picked apart, but it wasn't picked apart as much.
Play with LeBron. LeBron wants to win a championship. That's like if you go into the Lakers when Kobe was playing, you know Kobe wants to win. Mm-hmm. If you go to Chicago Bulls with Jordan, you know he's going to want to win. You don't tell your expectations are not to win a championship when you play with certain iconic players. If you go to Milwaukee, the expectation is to win. You go play with Kevin Durant, your expectation is to win. You go to Golden State, it's certain teams that you know you go to that, okay, I'm going to win it. I'm here to win a championship.
Hey, that's scary that they're in the playing game right now. That's scary. Speaking of them, that's scary.
Horrible. And next year they're probably going to trade him, and he's going to be on his 5th team in 5 years.
They should have traded him when they had a chance to trade him for John Wall. Now, you're not getting nobody good back, really, because you don't know what John Wall can do on the court anymore, but Russell Westbrook, he's just a body out there. He's not. They lost to the Spurs. I get Brown was out, and so was Anthony Davis, but like he can't even carry this team. He's just not the same guy that he was a few years ago.
No, he's not.
So I don't. He hasn't really been like Russell Westbrook since he left Oklahoma City, basically.
Yep, you're right.
Houston, he was good. In Washington, he was okay. They were okay spots, but it's just not the same type of player. So I don't know what he's gonna do next year. I don't know who would want him, especially with his contract and his attitude. And I don't know, man. I don't know what he's gonna do. I really don't.
That's the going to be the hard part for the Lakers is what he is owed like $47 million next year.
It's crazy money.
Who wants to take on that money?
Probably not.
They're gonna have to give up that first.
You're taking on that money, and you're not getting. What are you getting in return? Who wants to trade? Who's going to give you anything other than John Wall or whatever? I don't know. Like who? Come on, man.
Yeah, another really bad contract. Like,
is this LeBron's fault?
It is.
This is LeBron's fault. He wanted to.
Is LeBron,
he's basically GM.
Rob Pelinka.
It's a fault too.
All of them, man.
You can throw Anthony Davis in there too if you want.
Yes, it's all of them.
Anthony Davis might not be there next year. He just cannot stay healthy. He's a fragile individual.
Cannot stay healthy, man.
So as good as he is, he's a top 10 talent when he's on the court. But man, he just cannot stay healthy. So he was like, it's something with him.
And it just makes me wonder. With the bubble, they had like 4 months off.
Oh yeah, that the bubble really helped them out to get a championship.
Yeah,
I think
it was healthy. It was,
It's always some crazy circumstance for LeBron to get a championship, in my opinion. The bubble, Ray Allen hit the three.
Ray Allen hit the
three. wasn't in the game.
The only one was, I guess,
Kyrie. Oh, the only one was against Oklahoma City where they beat them 4-1. The Kyrie 3, like it's like
the 3-1.
What's going on here?
3-1. Ray Allen 3. Yeah.
And then the bubble. Like, I don't know, man.
All right, so here we go. We're gonna talk about Craig's favorite player, Ben Simmons.
Lord have mercy.
Yes,
Lord
Craig.
have mercy. Craig, like, why are you going
I think that's a pass.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Does
Yeah,
Ben
Craig-
Simmons even play this year? Because he hasn't played, which is very odd to me. Because they say he's not in shape. I don't know.
Hold on. I'm trying to understand. I've never heard of his legitimate, like, the injury. I kept hearing mental health. So I get the mental health piece. This is just me, right?
I understand it. Yeah,
and I understand it. I've been through it. Yeah, I'm doing that. But
yes.
how my question is, my thing of this is if you were pushing for a trade, you're getting a trade, why would you not be in shape? Like, what else are you doing at this point? Like, what else are you're not playing? Yeah, we haven't seen you at no charity events or other stuff. Like, why are you not at least running, being in the gym, getting in shape? So why is this holding out here? Like, what is this? What are we doing here? Like, what are we? So, and he's not that guy that you're just gonna throw out there playoff time and think he's gonna be productive for you. He's not that guy.
Yeah. It's odd to me though. It's literally like, all right, they traded. I'll tell you something. James Harden was out there ASAP. I saw James Harden run a step. Yeah. I said, this hamstring is really nice.
James Harden, only guy that's like 20 pounds overweight. He can go 20 pounds overweight, and then 2 weeks later, he's the best shape you've ever seen in your life. I want to get on his diet plan because clearly he's doing something right. It's the second time he's done that, and he's just been like the best version of himself. Like, I just don't get it, man. There's no way.
But James Harden's playing. But Ben Simmons isn't, and they're saying they have to get in shape. I just don't understand. I mean, it's only 17 games left. I don't know if he played. What's your thoughts, Craig? Does he play?
Yeah, he'll play. I think for one thing, I think he was scared to play tomorrow. I don't think he wants to. For some reason, he doesn't want to play against Philly in Philly. I guess he's mentally fragile or whatever. I mean, even if he played before that, he could have just sat him out for this game just to state like, okay, he's taking a rest day or whatever it is. You don't want to put too much maintenance on his body or something like that, whatever the case may be. I think he plays this year, but I think it's going to be probably sometime next week after this Philly game. He's supposed to be in Philly on the bench. I don't know why you would do that to yourself. What's the point of that? Just stay at home. You know what I mean? You're not even going to play. They're going to just heckle you and boo you and whatever it is because they know you're mentally fragile. Whether it's a legit mental reason that he has going on or mental issues or whatever it is, or if it's just something he said so he can still get his money and get traded or whatever. I don't know, but
Philly's the wrong city, man.
It's the wrong city to piss off, and it's the wrong city to go back and sit on the bench. Like, what is the point?
And look at this though. They gotta look at this from this standpoint. He got to if you legitimately want to win or want to do something, you gotta look at this. Kyrie can only once playoff time come. Kyrie can only play every 2 games, and at the state you're in right now, he's only gonna be able to play 2 games in the series because you're going to be on the road.
Are they going to lift the mandate?
No. You know what they should do, because this is the dumbest rule. It's already dumb with the visiting team who can not be vaccinated, they can play in New York or whatever. Right. But if for some reason, if all they have to do is just pay the fine, they're not going to get any home game a home series for the most part. They're going to have to play 3 games each series on the road. Just pay the $1,000 fine for the first game, $2,000 for the second game, and $5,000 each game after that. That's like $55,000. That's it. Right. That's all you got to pay for Kyrie Irving to play in possibly 12 home games.
I think they're probably going to lift it.
They're not going to lift it. They're not going to. They already said they're not going to lift it for one player.
Oh yeah.
I thought the mayor was talking about for the whole state, because it's been going. Well, it hasn't been going down, but they're just saying that that's what I heard, that he was.
I mean, but even if they don't lift it, just come back for the playoffs. Just pay the $55,000. That's going to cost you to have Kyrie Irving play home games. That's it. Like, what is the big deal? Or have Kyrie Irving pay it. $55,000. He doesn't have 55 days. He's making $40 million or something like that. 30 something million.
Is a multi-billionaire really going to miss 55 grand?
No. That's why I don't understand why this is. I mean, even if you want to make a big push towards the end of the season, what is it, 16 games left? Just have him paid a $100,000 fine, then, if that's what, or whatever the case may be, or whatever the amount is that you're going to have to pay.
That makes sense.
For him to play home games.
I didn't even realize that. That is.
I didn't even realize that.
Insane.
It's dumb, and I don't know why they haven't. I mean, if I was really serious about it, and I really said, okay, I know you're not vaccinated, but I want you to play every game this year. Either I'm going to pay the fine, or you're going to pay the fine, or we're going to pay it half and half, or something like that. You're just going to be on the court.
I can see half and half.
Something like that. I mean, or at least just do it for the playoffs, because they're going to be in the playing game. And if they play Toronto, he's not going to be able to play in Toronto. So if they finish 7th and 8th with Toronto, then he can't play in the game anyway.
He can't play in Toronto, or he can't play in Brooklyn.
New York, Brooklyn. He can't play home. And they're probably going to play a road game because I don't think they had the season series against Toronto. They lost 2 games back to back against them. Damn. So that's not good. But I mean, that's who they're probably going to be matched up against. And Kevin Durant is going to have to come out and score 40, and Ben Simmons is going to have to pass the ball and play defense.
I just remember when Ben Simmons was leaving Philly. Not even leaving Philly. The local news is like it was a trash can going down like a river. And it was like, there's Ben Simmons. I was like, golly, man. That has to hurt. That has to hurt as a player that lives there. Like, this is the local news. And then it went like viral. I was like, I can only imagine what Philly fans are saying to him. I can only imagine.
I mean, I'm going to watch the game tomorrow because I want to see what's going to happen tomorrow.
I mean, they're going to be probably talking crazy.
Keep headphones in the whole game.
Yeah, I know that.
Noise canceling.
I know that every Philly fan, like famous Philly fans that I follow, they don't like him.
I wouldn't like him either. I think he's garbage. I think he's overrated. He's most
and did he really were they really going to do a tribute to him? Did he ask for a tribute, or they was like, I think somebody commented, one of the analysts, or I don't think he asked for one, but they was like, there's no way he should get a tribute. Now, you know how sometimes when a player leave, I don't think they are, but one analyst was like, they better not. I forgot what analyst it was. He was like, they better not do no tribute.
I don't know what Philly's tribute is. It might, man. It might be something.
They might have people there cussing about.
Even if they were going to do a tribute or they thought about it after the way he acted this off season, I wouldn't have.
I wouldn't do nothing.
Gosh, man, that joint might, man, he had to be safe. But anyway, let's end on. We already talked about what QBs in the first round, right? And none. John Morant. He's been taking the league over by storm. What NBA player does he remind you of, guys? Anybody?
Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose with some Russell Westbrook in him.
Yeah.
He can shoot better than Russell Westbrook, but he attacks the basket. He can attack the basket like Russell Westbrook.
So, do you think that's sustainable?
For him to play like
yeah. The longest I've seen Allen Iverson, I don't think that's ever going to happen again. And Allen Iverson played in a tougher era. They were fouling really hard back
then. I think if he gets the right pieces around him, I think he'll be all right. I just think he needs the. I mean, this is what his third year, and he made the playoffs last year, winning the playing game and everything, and they took the Jazz to 6 games. So I think this is they're moving in the right direction. Obviously, just in a conference with some really, really tough teams, but I mean, they're holding on to the third. But just look at the numbers that in the third season of Derrick Rose, they're pretty much the same. Or John Morant has a few better numbers than Derrick Rose did. So I mean, Derrick Rose obviously just had injury problems, but he's out again this year. But I
I hope John.
Yeah, I just think he plays like Derrick Rose.
I love Derrick Rose when he was at Chicago, man.
Man, listen, that year he got MVP, man. I just used to sit back and be like, Lord have mercy.
And that's when they were playing Boston in the first round. I used to love.
Yeah. I think that year they got second. They got second in the East. I think were they first in the East that year?
Yeah,
it was the first and second
games that year.
That joint was they were. Man, that was some of the best. I was like Derrick Rose.
Because they had him, Noah, Taj Gibson, and squad. And
all of it. Now I just hope he does. I hope John Morant. I love to see John Morant play. I told y'all this, and I keep saying it. I would have picked. I'm telling you, I think he should have been the first pick, man. I've been saying it. Craig knows that's just me, but I love him. I think that. I hope he's gonna stay healthy. That's it. Just think he needs to take care of his body, stay healthy, man, because I think it's great for the game of basketball. Him, Devin Booker. I would say Giannis, but damn, Giannis has been playing so long, man.
Something like 26, I think.
Yeah, but like him, Giannis, Devin Booker,
Luka, Trae Young,
Luka. It's some good hands, man. Some real good hands. I'm gonna appreciate it. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting when it's the 100th, right? 25 years from now.
Oh man, definitely
gets in. You know what I'm saying? Like, does John Morant get in, or does like Devin Booker?
And then look at it. They going to add if he stay healthy, even does marginal stuff. You would have to add Klay Thompson in there.
And maybe Draymond. That's what I'm saying. It might be different, especially if they win one more championship.
Yeah.
So it's gonna. This is good. I hope they. Now the playoffs. It depends who they play. Now if they play the Lakers with a healthy AD,
they're not playing the Lakers.
I don't think they're right. They're not going to play. Like, who would they play? Minnesota.
They can't mathematically play the Lakers. No, they would play if they finish third. They would probably play. Right now.
You talking about Grizzlies? They would play Denver. Yeah,
it's Denver right now, but
because Denver's up 2.5 on Minnesota for the 6th spot.
Denver, or maybe if they pass Dallas, that'll be another matchup.
And they only a game and a half out of 4th. They only a game out of 5th.
Yeah,
my bad. Hold on. Yeah, game out of 5th.
Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas is playing a lot better now.
Dallas playing,
with Dallas a half game out of 4th.
Dinwiddie is playing great. I think sometimes it's the scheme, man. You didn't fit with the Wizards, but he fits good with Luka. So it's gonna be. Memphis is. It's gonna be interesting. I can't wait for the playoffs. I'm happy.
I thought the Kings was gonna be better than what they was. I thought the Kings was gonna be better than what they were. But I ain't saying playoffs. But I ain't saying that.
Kings are going.
I thought the Kings were going.
Hey, so are we printing that? Hey, are we all doing a paper one? Are we all doing a paper? Tournament and then talk about it on next Wednesday?
We could.
I mean, we print one out. I guess once it's wrapped up.
Tomorrow, I'm gonna do it tomorrow.
Oh, right. The journal come out to Sunday, right?
Yeah, Sunday.
Yeah, but the bracket don't get revealed till Sunday. I mean,
bracket don't get revealed till Sunday, so then I'll send it Monday. I guess that's when everybody be doing the bracket because it doesn't start till Thursday, right?
Yeah. Normally give them 3 days? 3 days to get to their spots or whatever. So it normally would start. It'd be because normally they do what? Because normally would it be Thursday, Sunday? It'd be Thursday, Saturday, and Friday, Sunday games normally, right?
Ray's taking off, man.
Nah, I don't take off no more.
Not doing it.
I am working from home on next Friday, but Thursday I'll be there. But when I watch it on I have the screen up, and then I listen to it on the way home. Then I get home, I'm just invested in basketball.
Man, I got this will be the first year I watch it on cable, but we got Sling TV, and it has True TV, so I'm good. TNT, I'm good. I was like, okay. As long as I can watch, I told Faith, I was like, listen, I like Top Chef too, so I watch Top Chef. But it's like, if it's not a cooking show or a house renovation, it's sports. So I was like, I gotta watch. Has to have FS1. I gotta have all the basic sports channels. Channel 4, 5, 7, and 9. And then I got like the ESPNs, and I got True TV and TNT. Because NBA playoffs are on TNT.
You got TBS?
I got TBS too, yes.
Yeah, they're gonna be on.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, you good right there. You always gonna get the channel 9. You always get the basics. So CBS, you good.
Yeah, that True TV be having some good games, especially in the tournament. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, True TV and TBS be having some real good games, man. So
they usually have the playing games too on there sometimes.
Yeah.
I
didn't even know about it.
Games on.
Them 11 seed playing games be tough. I think last year they was real nice.
True TV. Corey, was you there when we were at Joe's house? Yeah.
Joe's? Yeah.
I can't.
Every time somebody showed up, pour round of shots.
Oh yeah, crazy.
That was one of the funnest times, and I had class that day. And I went to class, and then
you had class. We had a work meeting.
Yes, and I did not go to the work meeting. I went to the bar after that. So I was kind of like, it was wild. I went lit, and I was taking a tax policy class at American, and I was I was talking to judges. I was like, do I smell like alcohol? My friend was like, no. I was like, yo. It's like, you kept asking good questions. I was like, well, I don't know if I'm completely sober. And then we went out to drink, to watch more games after that. That's why I missed the meeting. I missed the work meeting. I'll never forget. Joe was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine, man. I'm at home." That was an epic time in my life that we could do that. I wouldn't do that. I'm not at that point where I'm, daydreaming watching games again. If I do that, I would have to be off for a couple of days. Because I don't. That was some years ago, man. When I had I was younger. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like I'm taking naps.
He said I'm taking naps.
Naps, man. I can't be out there drinking for hours. I can, but it's like the next 2 days I'm out. Like, where's James at? Sleep. Like, I'm trying to recover and drink water and fruit.
What happened to me Sunday?
You said it happened to you Sunday?
I was on the couch all day.
For real? What happened? What you got? Oh, you said you went to Indiana.
No, this past Saturday, I was hanging out with someone. They decided shots were a good idea, which they never are. I forgot to eat dinner.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, one of those days.
Sunday was rough.
Yeah. Sunday you waking up like, oh.
Hey, James, for the draft, is there a way to play it? Is it a way for us to play the draft on here, on our drink, while we just sitting on here like this? Instead of us like watching on TV, is a way to like play it live on the Zoom joint while we on here. We just like look at
what you mean, like the NFL draft?
Yeah, like I'm saying, we on here to see the pick.
Watching the NFL draft on here.
Yeah,
I need to figure that out.
Because I'm thinking instead of us watching our own TVs and then being mute and then waiting for our picks and then say,
I'm gonna try to figure that out. That'll be cool. Like all 4 or 5 of us right here, and then it'll be like a TV screen in the middle. I'm gonna see if I
So when our pick comes up, or when each pick comes up, maybe we can like unmute, comment on it right quick before the next pick.
Talk about it while it's going on. Everybody else talking about it. Yeah. I was like,
Well, we just know. Just know if
Craig's reaction.
Craig kicking off. As soon as they get a quarterback, Craig kicking off. We can play Craig. We go. Like, can't do this no more.
Because it's either gonna be yes, we got Cross, or
no, we got Pickett. Like,
I'm not watching it no more.
Can't do this. Can't do it. I can't do it.
Craig better be ready with the censor button.
Yeah.
Oh man. Hey, hold up. Hey, Craig. So it didn't make sense what I saw at the bottom of the screen yesterday. So it said they're listening to offers for McCaffrey, but we're not trading him. I looked, I said the wording. I'm like, huh? Are
I didn't get it
they
either.
listed? Or they
I
both?
don't
Are they both
understand it,
all?
man.
Like what? Like what?
I said, ask Craig that question, bro.
Like if you have no plans to trade him, why you even listen to
I
offer? I
don't
guess
know,
you just
man.
listen
It
just to
doesn't
hear
make
to be
any
respectful.
sense. I had to read
Like,
it twice to make sure I read it right the first time because it just didn't make any sense. So I don't know what they're doing, man. I've kind of lost. I'm starting to lose faith in that or in the Panthers organization.
in the organizational structure. Lord.
It's terrible, man. I don't know.
Listen,
I don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. Yeah.